This is what we're making today. Imported poultry. This is a chicken leg and thigh. We're going to debone it. We're going to make an incision with our knife parallel to the thigh bone and parallel to the leg bone. This will help open up the chicken. After, we can simply scrape the meat right off the bone, leaving us with the skin and meat all together. It should look like this. Next, we're going to make tarragon vinegar. In a hot pan, we're going to throw in white wine vinegar, white wine, and tarragon. We're going to reduce this until we have about a tablespoon left. Once reduced, we're going to take it off the heat, strain it, and then set it aside. This is a stick and a half of butter. We're going to throw it in the microwave for a minute and a half. Once melted, we're going to strain out the milk solids. This will leave us with clarified butter. We're going to use it for our Bearnaise sauce. Next, on top of a double boiler, we're going to throw in our lemon juice, our tarragon vinegar that we just made, and 2 egg yolks. For those who don't know what a double boiler is, underneath this bowl is a pot of boiling water. The reason why we do this is so that the egg doesn't go into direct contact with the heat, which will end up scrambling the egg. While we're whisking away, we're going to slowly add in our clarified butter. Alright guys, confession time. As you can see, my sauce is a little thin. And the reason for this is because I added in too much lemon juice. I was only supposed to add in 1 teaspoon, but for some reason I added 2 tablespoons. So now my hollandaise is too thin. Anyways, we're gonna keep rolling with it because I can't buy eggs anymore. It's in the middle of the night. So we're gonna chop up this tarragon, take it, throw it into our hollandaise, and now we have a Bearnaise sauce. And again guys, it's too thin, but that's okay, we're gonna roll with it anyway. Next, we're just gonna cut up all our garnishes and vegetables. We're gonna take these Roma tomatoes and cut them into wedges. Then, we're gonna take the top half of this romaine lettuce and use it for garnish. We're gonna cut these eggplants into little half moons and saute it later. Now, back to our deboned chicken. We're going to start off by seasoning it heavily on both sides. Then, we're going to take this chicken and put it through a breading station. First, it goes into the flour. We're going to coat this generously, and then after, we're going to throw it into an egg wash. We're going to coat this generously again, making sure that we get all of the surface area so that the panko will stick right to it. And finally, once it hits the panko, we're going to coat it generously again and then throw it right into very cold oil. Why did we throw it into room temperature oil? It's because we're going to use a method called cold frying. Once the chicken is in, we're going to blast the heat. In the span of 8 minutes, the oil will slowly cook through this chicken as the temperature rises. This oil's temperature when we pull out the chicken will hit 430 degrees Fahrenheit. And because the outer layer was cooked through with such high heat, this chicken ended up with a very crunchy exterior. We're going to pull this chicken out and then set it aside to rest for 10 minutes. Next, in a pan with lots of olive oil on high heat, we're going to saute this eggplant for about 5 minutes. We're simply going to season this with salt and pepper. Then we're going to make sure that the eggplant is coated in olive oil. And once we've reached our desired texture, we're going to set it aside. After 10 minutes, we're going to cut up this chicken. And once we've cut it to 5 pieces, now let's get ready to plate. So as you can see from the plating, the Bearnaise is too thin. But that's okay, it still tastes good and it's creamy. When I post this recipe later on my website, I'll make sure that you guys have the right amounts to execute a perfect Bearnaise sauce. Anyways, back to the food. This chicken itself is really good. The cold frying method works so well. As the temperature of the oil increases, the chicken gets cooked inside slowly. And once the oil hits that very high temperature and we pull the chicken out, the exterior is very crispy. Please guys, try this technique out. It works on all breaded items. And as for this eggplant, try it out. I know it's so simple, it's just olive oil and salt and pepper, but drench it in olive oil, toss it in salt, pepper, and saute it. It's so simple, but it's so delicious. Anyways, that's it for this episode. If you guys like what you see, hit the like button. And if you guys have any suggestions on what I should cook next, please post in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe. Man, I really want to remake this video. I really was not satisfied with that Bearnaise sauce.